Welcome to the finals of the Star-Crossed Cup EU bracket. It's going to be All-Stars versus Jaeger. This is game one, and it looks like the map is going to be Moscow outskirts. We have All-Stars here in the south base as double Soviets, and we have Jaeger in the north base as mixed Axis, and we will have Zartcloud playing as Osthair and Vipix playing as Oberkommando West. We will have Volksgrenadiers start from Vipix. We have Grenadiers start from Zark. Combat Engineers moving out here to grab the strategic point. More Combat Engineers here from Run to the Sun. So I think Run to the Sun is indeed going to continue with this strategy. It's opening with 4 Combat Engineers going into a Scout Car and a Sniper. Interesting. Meanwhile, Symbiosis going with his Conscript opening into Tier 2 Maxim. So no, nothing crazy or exciting hidden up their sleeve. Nothing new. Looks like it's going to be some pretty standard stuff. At least so far. Combat Engineers moving straight towards the VP though, rather than the fuel. Meanwhile, these are going to be following up behind. Pioneers about to encounter those Combat Engineers over there on the victory point. Volksgrenadiers moving up towards the munitions. Zartcloud grabbing the strategic point back here. And we also have the SWS. Looks like he's thinking about setting up a battle group right here, if I had to guess. This engagement is about to happen. I think, I don't know. It's going to come down to positioning. I think that Run to the Sun will win this if Zartcloud chooses to capture the territory. Meanwhile here, Stern Pioneers are about to charge some Combat Engineers there. And there's more moving up to support, and they've actually taken a little damage on retreat, but Vipix has a Kuba wagon moving up to support, and they're going to get caught. And they're just getting torn to shreds. They're suppressed. So Vipix is definitely going to take this munitions point, no problem. Although there is actually a Maxim moving up here, and the Stern Pioneers do get suppressed, so actually, maybe not. Battle Group Headquarters is going up, so he might try and crawl to safety. Yeah, looks like he just barely got out of range. He's still suppressed, but I think he'll be able to crawl to safety. He's going to try and finish capturing the point. He's actually within the Maxim's arc, just does not have vision, but it's about to as those Combat Engineers move up to spot. And I think he's going to be forced to retreat. Oh, he is actually just barely outside of its cone, like just by a hair. Kuba wagon moving to harass these Combat Engineers. They actually haven't dropped any models out of this Pioneer squad. Meanwhile, the cutoff is actually being taken here by Zartcloud. It's got some Grenadiers moving up. A machine gun also moving up to support here in the middle. There is an M3 on the field. And it's actually circling around here towards the right. I think he's going to try and hunt the Kubel down, but he's going to get intercepted by these Grenadiers. Oh, he's circling around wide here in the south. I think they have spotted the M3 though, and the Kuba wagon's going to try and reposition to safety. It's at about half health just from Combat Engineer fire. Meanwhile, the Battle Group Headquarters is complete. And the left side has been pretty much unopposed. Allies have taken it without any real struggle here. Kuba wagon forces away more Combat Engineers, and the map is really quite split vertically right now. Axis holding the entire right side, Allies holding the entire left, even taking this point, strategic point by the base, although those Stern Pioneers are probably going to push them back here in a moment. Mines getting laid, Maxim's moving up into more aggressive positions from Symbiosis. And MG42 is actually making its way out into red cover. Could be a semi-dangerous move. Although these Grenadiers are going in pretty hard, and there's no Maxim back here on the flank, but there is a sniper to harass in addition to the Scout Car. 2 Grenadier models drop already. I'm not sure if that Scout Car is going to survive this. One bullet could finish it here. Kuba wagon is actually moving up to try and finish it off. Main gun goes down, and it does get taken out. Second squad of Grenadiers actually gets suppressed by this Maxim, which has finally turned to flank. This MG42 is still getting burst down in... I guess it's not in red cover, it's just barely off that road. It's in no cover. And it will be forced to retreat. Volksgrenadiers may hit this mine. No, not quite. Combat engineers taking up position in the house. They may be able to finish off this Kuba wagon if he gets out and chases, but he looks like he's not going to do that. I think the Kuba will get away. Just falling pretty low, though. And Vivix has been quite busy with his Stern Pioneers so far this game. Hasn't really found an opportunity to repair. He's been using them in combat a lot. And it looks like the Allies have kind of pulled ahead a little bit here. They're retaking the cutoff and the munitions. They are pretty much unopposed still here on the left. There's a machine gun moving across the left unsupported, which seems like a strange move. He may just be making a mad dash for the house. There are conscripts pretty nearby, so who knows how that might end. There's mines everywhere. Squad could get wiped any second. Ooh, that grenade was actually quite close to those mines. I think he had a feeling there were mines there. He might have seen it getting planted, but he aimed the grenade a little bit off. And he didn't even inflict any casualties. It's a bit of a waste. Maxim firing on the Kuba wagon here. Stern Pioneers are going to get suppressed. Combat Engineers also going to get overwhelmed by these Grenadiers. Pio's moving up the right side. They're going to run into these Combat Engineers. I think the Combat Engineers would even win that. Minesweeper going down on this S-mine field too. Nice spotting that, and not just sort of like walking over top of it while you're microing something else. Good to pay attention to that. I think this Minesweeper squad will, be fine.
You need something demolished?
Meanwhile, over here, that unsupported machine gun capturing attempt didn't really work out for Zark Cloud. And they're actually getting pretty clustered here. They're going to need to break out of this this territory situation pretty soon, or they're going to probably have some trouble with allied vehicles. Run to the Sun has chosen mechanized support, and Symbiosis has chosen guard motor. I said that before I even saw it like pop up because I knew that's what they were going to do. No doubt in my mind. Zero doubt whatsoever in my mind that that is what they had chosen. And we do have a heavy mortar here on the field. We've certainly seen it be very effective in the past, especially in the NA finals. So see if it experiences similar success here. Certainly poised to do so. Zark Cloud purchasing 2 Granatenwerfers, 2 mortars. Territory situation not changing much. A little bit of back and forth for the strategic point right by the Axis base. A little back and forth for the right side munitions and cutoff. But other than that, things seem pretty stratified vertically here. Both sides having a little difficulty pushing through to the other's holdings. Ooh, they almost lost the squad of the mortars there. Heavy mortar also is taking a bit of damage, but it's already inflicted 4 kills. Needs to reinforce, though. One of the few advantages U.S. forces has is that it can put an ambulance next in a position like this, and the heavy mortar will be pretty much home free to just reinforce all day long. Soviets have no way to do that without purchasing a half-track, and that's just such a rare purchase. Ooh, infantry support gun almost clears the gun. So it looks like the Axis just have a bit of an indirect fire advantage here. The combined power of the infantry support gun and 2 mortars is a little bit much for that 1 heavy mortar to take on. He's not retreating it though. He is going to continue to leave it in the field. Try and place it behind. Oh, merge! Look at that merge! That is pro stuff right there. He refuses to retreat. So the heavy mortar will continue to bombard this defensive position. The Axis continue to crawl around the right side. Looks like there may be some mines getting defused. Yep. Possibly new mines planted as well. And it's unfortunate to plant mines and just to have them defused without any attempt at harassing the minesweeper. A minesweeper is such a fragile squad. If you make any attempt at chasing it away, usually it'll succeed. Especially if it's just a lone minesweeper on the right, but the Allies are concentrated quite heavily on retaking the left side munitions and cutoff. Focused pretty much on just holding their side and holding out for the ISUs, I think. The ISUs in 85s. Although we do see a tier 4 building going up here from Symbiosis. He's going to be grabbing a Katyusha, I believe, at his earliest possible opportunity. I'd say that they have the fuel to do that. What I'm wondering is if Run to the Sun is going to be grabbing any tier 3 vehicles, or if he's just going to spam ISUs as soon as he can.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Mortars continuing to fall, and this is actually a standard mortar purchased by Run to the Sun, who has grabbed tier 2 in addition to his tier 1 building, and I believe we've seen him do that before, so no huge surprise. Forces up here being forced to retreat, though. Vipix grabbing the fuel and cut off. And he's got some Obersoldaten hitting the field, and if we take a look at his resources, no fuel because he just purchased a Lux. So that Lux will be here. A Lux will be here rather soon. Yeah, a lot of allied forces just kind of, sitting right here, and that Obersoldaten just wrecks that heavy mortar. Jeez, 6 kills. They barely even fired 2 bursts at it, and it just got cleared out. Lux also hitting the field now. The allies have a field gun. If we take a look at their upgrades, Run to the Sun's got no AT grenades. Symbiosis does have AT grenades, so one of them has AT grenades. It's going to be a question of positioning if they can keep this thing from just wreaking total havoc. It's moving its way up to the front lines. Half track over here also. Zarcloud loves getting the 3 grenadiers supported by the half track. He's one of the very few players I've seen actually use a half track, but he uses it really effectively. And we've seen that in previous games, and he has no intention of stopping yet. And that Lux has no conscripts to be afraid of at all over here. We do see Symbiosis moving up a squad over there on the right. Nice play by Vipix to outmaneuver it a little bit here. Gonna have, I think that was a little pathing error right there. He's only just barely gonna get free of that, or get clear of those conscripts, but still I think maybe that was almost an intentional bait. Trying to bait those conscripts into the Gren blob, but that Katyusha barrage was just devastating. Ouch. Got to be very careful with that Lux, although they did clear the field gun. They did inflict some pretty heavy losses, but I think that Katyusha inflicted some heavy losses in return. 8 kills on the first barrage is not bad at all, especially on Grenadiers. Maybe not as good as like Ogres, but not terrible by any means. Zarcloud's now going to be pretty vulnerable actually here with just a half track supported by 1 machine gun, which is why I think Run to the Sun would have really benefited from taking tier 3. He's already taken tier 1 and 2 though. It's going to hurt his fuel a little bit to go tier 3 as well. So I can see why they may be hesitant to do that. This attempt at harassment by those combat engineers stands no chance. The half-track and the MG42 over there. Meanwhile, the Axis have still not lost the fuel over here, or this victory point. So the Allies are now really struggling. And this happened in their previous matchup as well. Where All-Stars really struggle in the early game against this team, against Jaeger. But they seem to execute quite well once their ISU hits the field. They really bank on that ISU basically to carry them through to victory. Katyusha barrage coming in. Ooh. As far as enemy doctrines, we do have fortifications from Vipix, so it's made a couple of appearances this tournament, although not very many. So we'll see how that works out for him. And Zarkcloud hasn't chosen yet, and his options are Assault Support, Jaeger Armor, Spearhead. There's no counterattack tactics this game. I definitely could see why he would keep Jaeger Armor as an option in case counterattack tactics were to get chosen, but it hasn't, so it's probably going to, I don't know. I would be surprised to see Assault Support, but I guess it could happen. But if he were going to pick Spearhead, I feel like he would have done that already for the Mortar half-track. So I guess he's just leaving his options open. The Elephant actually might benefit them quite a lot against ISUs, which I'm sure they know are on their way. Snipers haven't actually done that great this game. Up to about 27 kills, 28 kills at the 16-minute mark is not that good, actually. He has really been struggling to position them well.
The enemy is attempting to
Really only
steal our
getting a bunch of kills when their opponents make a critical mistake of some kind. Boomerang straight into that half-track, but there is a machine gun set up to prevent that. That's going to be forced to retreat. And just look at all these mines. 2 Teller mines here on the road. S-mines like everywhere. Looks like one of those Teller mines just got spotted. Not sure if he's gonna think that there'll be a second one in such close proximity, though. Katyusha firing on the defensive position once again. They really want to kill those indirect fire units. Getting bled. Not terribly. 11 kills. Who knows? I'm not sure how many infantry support guns gotten in the amount of time it's been recrewed. That was a kind of a lackluster Katyusha barrage, but it is up to 18 kills, so it's not doing poorly by any means. MG34 set up over here. Yeah, the Axis are really effectively defending this area with actually a pretty small force. 2 machine guns, a Kubel, and a half-track. There's like not that much over here, but the Allies aren't dedicating much to try and retake it. Of course, the minefields make things difficult, but it looks like these minesweepers could sweep up these Teller mines. Yep, there goes the Teller mine. They're just kind of crawling through machine gun fire right now. Snipers are going to try to move up, but it's too late. There's the Panzer IV here to support. And I think it might be a little too dangerous for those snipers. For the Panzer IV there, and he's going to be forced to retreat. The sustained machine gun fire is too much for him to just sit there, especially with the Panzer IV shooting at him in an S-mine field. You never know when there's going to be like random detonations. Meanwhile, over here, it looks like the Allies are finally gaining a little bit of traction in the fuel. I think a good grenade could win him this engagement. Oh, especially if the Storm Pioneers run out of cover because he's not paying attention. There he goes. Finally realized what was happening. Unequipped the Minesweeper, but it was too late. Frangible going out on that Maxim. Nice. And the Frangible is actually way more effective than the Bundle Grenade, and it's cheaper. So definitely good to make use of that ability if possible. Because in general, area denial abilities are just better than straight up damage abilities. And the Frangible denies a pretty big area. It's almost like just like a way better Molotov if you think about it. A way better Molotov. And it only costs twice as much munitions. Which is probably why it's a vet ability, because of how incredibly effective it is. Katyusha firing on Zarkcloud's stuff over here. Ooh, looks like it was a little off target though. Doesn't even have to retreat, he can simply dodge. Doesn't hit much of anything, and he's firing at such short range that it has no scatter. So he was kind of hoping to hit everything on the first burst, but it didn't happen. Panzer IV also charging the base. And this is just what happens when you hold out for heavies like All-Stars does every round. They don't have enough stuff to counter their opponent's medium armor or elite infantry. They're just getting bullied by Obersoldaten and Obersoldaten and medium armor because they have to wait. They have to wait so long to get their own tanks. Zarkcloud still hasn't even chosen a doctrine. Run to the Sun's gonna have his ISU soon, but I'm wondering if it's too little too late. Look how hard they're getting pushed. Is this gun getting stolen over here? Mortars, look how aggressive this mortar placement is. It's practically in their territory almost. And it's certainly going to make things difficult for those snipers. Although they're finally kind of coming into their own. 30 kills and 17 on the other one, but they're just getting out-reinforced, frankly. It's not winning them engagements. It's an economic, you know, economic bleed on their opponent, but I don't know if it's enough. You can just sit here reinforcing out of the half track. Stuka, oh, that's gonna be the first Stuka barrage of the game. Could be huge. Oh no! Oh, perfect! Perfectly aimed Stuka barrage. That was devastating. 11 kills on the opening barrage, 2 squad wipes that I saw. Didn't get any lucky hits on the snipers though. Here comes the ISU. Oh, this opening shot could be devastating.
Target vehicle marking available.
Katyusha also firing. It didn't really hit anything. But the Axis are pulling back. The ISU just has that psychological effect. Once they see it on the field, they know that they can't be this ridiculously aggressive anymore. It's time to pull back and make sure that no super huge comeback happens. Play it a little safer. They pretty much did as much massive damage as they could while the ISU was not on the field, and now it's time to deal with this new threat, basically. In a calculated and a cool and calculated manner. They're not just gonna continue to be just crazy aggressive and just hurl everything they have at it. They're gonna wait, try and play it safe, try and mitigate the losses that it's gonna inflict on them. Apparently this stolen Ziz already has 9 kills from the HE barrage. I must have missed that happening. Infantry support gun gets destroyed outright. It's not even decrewed. Katyusha barrage going out here. ISU continues to fire. Looks like the Axis are kind of floundering a little bit. They don't appear to be mobilizing any solution to that. They're just kind of continuing to be super conservative, super careful. And the Allies are very slowly expanding. Moving up some team weapons, snipers moving up to a more aggressive position, ISU kind of leading the charge. And it looks like that battle group headquarters is going to go down if something doesn't move to counter a little bit. Speaking of which, we'll take a look at the enemy's stuff. Vivek's bought a Stuka, so he's certainly nowhere near getting a King Tiger. About 100 fuel away. Looks like that's maybe what he's thinking of doing, though. Yeah, I think that's what he wants to do. As far as Zark, he's chosen Jaeger armor. And, I think he may want an elephant, and he's got the fuel, but he doesn't have the manpower. So he's just waiting for his elephant to hit the field, I think. In the meantime, it looks like the Axis are going to focus on other territory. Just try to avoid the ISU smoke barrage going down on the battle group so that he can try and get it repaired. He may choose to attack ground. Oh, that Katyusha was devastating. If he had aimed that a little farther back, that could have just been huge. Zeroing artillery going down over here in the meantime, clearing all the team weapons, potentially catching the snipers. That Panzer IV is going to force them to sprint through the area of effect. Oh, I think it's going to catch this one because he sprinted it in such an awkward way. Zeroing already continues to just do massive damage to the ISU. He sat in the area of effect the whole time and it goes down. It goes down. What was he thinking? Leaving it in that zeroing artillery. They didn't even have to fight it with any of their units. They literally just killed it with zeroing already, and now the Panzer IV is charging their base. Oh no, it gets buttoned. It gets buttoned, so he's gonna have to pull back, but that was huge. That zeroing artillery might have just won them the game. Oh no.
Stuka fueled and ready to fly.
And actually the Stuka hasn't fired in a... Oh, I guess it did. It did and I missed it at some point. I was gonna say, I haven't seen it do anything. Yeah, I guess it fired. Okay, never mind. I just missed it. Grenade going out on this max and that's gone. Oh, it was overwhelming.
Artillery batteries are armed and ready to fire.
Not looking good for the Allies. Not looking too good. Run to the Sun's got 140 fuel. No map control. I don't think there's much chance of a second ISU. Symbiosis is actually floating like crazy. But I guess he's not sure what to purchase at this point, considering his army is pretty much gone. I mean, he's gonna call in his 85s, but not sure what they're gonna be able to do. I think Zarkcloud may actually be changing his mind about the elephant. I don't know. He's bled a lot. That Katyusha barrage bled him really bad on those grenadiers, so that was a lot of manpower down the drain. But I would almost not get an elephant. I would think about just getting more Panzer IVs after I had just killed an ISU, and I had not purchased the elephant yet. But I mean, he could if he wanted. He's choosing not to, so I guess he's just gonna play it safe, get the elephant for the next ISU. Panzer IV is actually, I think he's going to circle way around the south here. He's like hiding behind this little area. Maybe he's going to try and catch the snipers on the retreat or something. I'm not sure what his plan is here. He's planning something sneaky. He's just leaving that in position, looking for an opportunity on weak retreating enemy units, I guess. And he's just using recon constantly. As soon as it comes off cooldown, he throws it back out. Interesting. He really wants to know what his opponent is up to. He's just kind of reconning this area. I think he's looking for opportunities for his Panzer IV, using the recon sweep to figure out where those snipers are. And if he gets a chance to go in, maybe he's going to. Ooh, I think he picked a slightly inopportune time, though. There's the two T-34-85s just hit the field. He's gonna have to get away from those. But I don't know if he's gonna be able to. Mark target going off. Massive damage. Both shots penetrate, no problem. And that's gonna be the end of that. Oh! Both shots bounce, and then a Zis shot gives him main gun destroyed. And didn't even use Blitz, but the T-34s are not chasing. Oh, here they come. I think he might get away. Oh, Conscript's moving up for an AT grenade. And there it goes, out of control. Panzer IV will go down.
The enemy has destroyed a Panzer.
So tried to make something happen with his Panzer IV behind enemy lines there. Didn't really work out because of the C-34-85s hitting the field. But he's certainly at no shortage of fuel, and his elephant is on its way as well. As a Pack 43, interesting. And it's probably a good decision now that the enemy Katyusha is dead. Probably work out pretty nicely. Elephant also forcing away the T-34s here, and a King Tiger is also hitting the field. Looks like they're gonna get clear though. Stupid barrage going off over here in the center. Ooh, did that get a sniper? It got one model of one sniper at least. Might have gotten a full other sniper. Yes, it did. That Stuka barrage just killed a sniper. Ouch, that hurts. How's the Stuka doing? Up to 18, yeah. And that's the only thing I killed with that barrage, is one sniper, I guess.
Sniper now available for duty.
Unless it died to something else. More recon getting called in. Just constant recon.
Marked and targeted.
Look at this cluster of Axis troops. Nothing to punish us whatsoever now that the enemy Katyusha is dead. Pack 43 repositioning. Oh, they catch the Stuka. Pack 43 shot just missed. Faust goes off on that one. On both, actually, so they both have just engine damage. Mark target went off on this King Tiger, but that's not nearly enough with this elephant here. One that T-34-85 stands no chance. It will definitely be going down. Although the elephant just kind of exposed itself a little bit to that Zis gun, taking a little free damage. but the T-3485s are gone. The Allies still have really terrible map control. Run to the Sun has no chance of getting another ISU for a while, and that's the surrender. That's GG. They're not even going to try. Wow. 30 minutes. Pretty respectable. Let's see what happens in Game 2.